All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Locker Room Sports Talk. Glad y'all can stop by and hang out with me here this morning for a while. A lot of this, what we got going on right now, is still, it's still just kind of going to be up in the air for probably the next, probably 15 or 20 minutes or so. So just hang around here, and as it comes on live, and I'm watching it, and we'll just kind of look at it together and see where everybody kind of lays out and classifications. Hit the comment section over here. Tell me your favorite school. Who are you pulling for this year, or any moves and classifications that you're excited about? You know, maybe some teams that you pull for that you're looking for to move up on the line and get noticed, and or maybe some schools, um, you know, it may be moving down in classification that you're thinking, hey, that'll be good for our school. Y'all got kids going to school somewhere. Let me know what you're thinking, and give me your home team. Where are you from? Where are you living at? You North Alabama or South Alabama? Or y'all kind of dealing with everything at? So as it comes on, and it's for everybody to watch. Anybody can see. It's on WOTM. You can find it. You can just find it online at, I think it's just WOTMTV.com or something. Also, you can go over to probably, let's see, let me check my Facebook here. YouTube, you can go high school football, Alabama. And I know John Holder and Coach Short. They'll be on sometime here, probably the next 20, 30 minutes. And as everybody kind of finds out together, I just want to talk about it and get everybody's ideas. Kind of where's everybody at? What are you thinking? Let's see. Yeah, WOTM.TV/football. I think that's where. And probably go to WOTM live stream. I think I got all that going on right here. So Phoenix City is what I'm talking about. Good to have you on here to come by. Make sure y'all hit the old thumbs up button while you're over here. I sure would appreciate that a whole lot. Yeah, I've been doing this for about 6 years, 7 years. And during the football high school season, we like to cover high school sports and talk about guys around the county and stuff where I live at. And grew up around Cherokee County area. And you can go on my YouTube and find all kind of old videos and old coaches shows and stuff if you like some of that stuff. We have a good time. And Gadsden City is what I'm talking about, representing. What about Gadsden City? I'd probably say they're going to stay where they are. They'll probably stay at 6A. How are y'all liking the Gadsden City folks? How are you liking the matchup there with Southside now? I mean, both being 6A, that's cool, man. That's something that kind of been coming for a long time. I'm glad they could finally do that. If you're ever watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Sure would appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up while you're over there too. Let's see here. So this is kind of just a wait and see kind of game. And Coleman, what's up, big dog? I'm right over here in Huntsville, Alabama. Just moved up this way a little while back. And look forward to seeing where everybody's going to be spread out. And we know what everybody's really curious about. Everybody's really curious about where they're going to split the private and all that. Let's see here. Hang on. If they're going to split the private schools up and from the public schools. What do y'all think about that? And there's a lot of opinions on that, and nobody's opinions are wrong. I'm assume Southside. I would assume the same. You're probably not. Let's see. Probably not going to see much movement around the Etowah County area as far as reclassifications. I don't. I mean, even far over like Glencoe and Hopes Bluff and all those. I think they're all stay. I think all those schools will be the same. I got some family that is around Hopes Bluff and Glencoe area. Got some family that plays over there. And Coach Blanchard, he was at Glencoe, known him all his life. Actually worked with his dad way back in the day, James Blanchard. I always liked James. And so I know them, Bailey being at Glencoe, did a good job there. I don't think none of those teams will be probably moving around much. And because they did not win it the year before, they have not acquired enough points to move them to 3A. For private, if you qualify for the state championship, you're going to get bumped, but it's got to be 2 years. I thought it may have been just for one, but it's not. So I don't think anybody in Etowah, I don't think we're going to see much movement over there. I know none of them. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm waiting for some other guys to come on and go live and kind of see what's up, see what's going on. I just like to come on early and let people come by the page, and we'll talk here and hang out and get questions. And let's see, unfortunately, there'll probably be – oh, really? Okay. You're talking about Southside. You're talking about Southside? Let's see. Oh, you're talking about Gaston City. Oh, really? You think that? Well, hey, Stephen, I appreciate you coming by and talking about that. What's going on, Aaron? Representing from Valley Head, Alabama, the Fighting Purple Tiger. Big, long-time fan of the show here, Aaron. Always helped out and sharing pictures. You can find his page, and he's does videos and stuff for me of games from up on the mountain up there for Valley Head. And I always shared over here. We just come over here to, Southside. Okay, good information. Good morning. So he's thinking Southside might go back. So applying competitive balance to the schools. Yeah, even if they split publics and privates, do you think that still be? I don't know. Well, here's the thing with there's the competitive balance for private schools is already there. Like we know, like they have to count their students, at 1.5. And when they qualify for state game for 2 years, while they're moved up there, they have to automatically bump, which public schools don't. They could, Jackson went back to back in 4A South, and there's a possibility because their school numbers, I've heard they could bump down to 3. And it's the things about the money and how it can be spent from public to private. Private schools, they all get money, state money, but private schools could spend it a little different than what public schools were made to spend it, and I mean, you're getting to go to public school for free. And if you have a kid that wants to go to, a private school, then, they could be allowed, their tuition could be paid. So number one thing, what I even started this whole channel for, is always supposed to be about the kids and what's best for them. And I know, they put in that act or the title thing where to have, there's the student numbers and the way it could be at private schools that, you know, if you wanted to get a better education, you could apply and you could come for free. And it's a good idea, you know, because all this is about kids. That's what this is supposed to be. That's the number one. The number one thing is supposed to be what benefits them the best, and not having to do with sports. It's supposed to be for their educational benefits for them for that purpose. And I think some people, some places took advantage of those situations and used a lot of athletes to fill those positions to say, well, we'd like to have a better education, so we're going to use this new rule here to bring them over there. And not all did. It's kind of like NIL in college football. You know, we complain about it a lot. Well, you know, all these kids are getting paid. Well, not everybody's getting paid in college football. Well, not as much. Let me rephrase that. You starting right guard is not making as much as you wide receivers, right? And that's just, you know, that's kind of just how it is. So some people just have taken advantage of rules, and not everybody. So I don't know if you can put a number on to say if a public school to have, you know, for them to have that, to have a competitive balance to all the schools, public and private. I don't. Maybe you can, but it's a great question. This is why I like coming on here, because I enjoy talking about it. And again, these are just my opinions, and they're based on just nothing but my knowledge of watching the games and being around the schools, and, you know, hearing stuff here and there. Large city systems, Steve says, with one high school, have revenue streams that dwarf most private. True, yeah. And maybe there should be some balance between city and county. Yeah. Now that could be because city schools and county schools, it is different. It is. So how, you know, that money allocation is how, you know, this stuff is deciphered. And where you have like, you know, like Cherokee County, where I'm from, you know, you have Cherokee County, Spring Garden, Sandrock, Galesville, and Galesville, Cedar Bluff, and of course I said Cherokee County. So you got all these 5 schools, and way over from Galesville, all the way stretched over to Spring Garden, which is, that's 45 minutes, you know, drive. We're talking about space between these they're very rural, very small schools. And, you know, from Cedar Bluff, you know, to Sandrock, and then, you know, Cherokee County over towards Galesville. And it's the distance, and it's hard to wrangle it all in. And we talk about Georgia, and we talk about things. I'm keeping an eye on the page, guys, to see when this sets off, when everybody's going live. We're looking to see when this all going to start up, but we want to, because it seems like, well, Georgia's so much better. They have everything figured out. You know, Georgia High School, GHSAA, and we cover Georgia High School football. We were there close on the line when I have Benton Burge come on. He's Northwest Georgia Scoreboard Show. You can Google him and find all of the high school football for Georgia that you want over there. And he comes on with us during the year, and we talk, we share. And I go to games over there at Rockmart or Coosa, Imerchi, or Rome. And it's just so different there because, you know, there's some rural schools. My co-host, Diamond Dean, he teaches and coaches at Chattooga. And that's kind of a rural area. You're talking about Georgia schools and how we may want to be more like them, or it's hard to do because one, they have the lottery in Georgia, and that pays a lot of tuitions for kids. If you have a parent that works there, you can have these, you know, grants and stuff that'll help pay for your kids' college stuff. And the schools are not spread out really. You know, you'll have a middle school and like Cherokee County's got elementary, a middle, and a high school. And, you know, they may have as many in elementary as like Galesville or Cedar Bluff may have in the whole school. So it's different here because we're all spread out because it's rural. So we think, we talk about how could we, do what's best for the kids and do what's better. And here's my take on that about playing. I see you on there, Ben. What's up? My personal opinion, I love small school. I grew up Cedar Bluff, 1A, 2A now. And Dad played there. My son played there. And if you take all those small schools and combine them all to one big school, some of those kids at smaller schools that get to play and start to play football, if they combine all schools and put them together, then they wouldn't get to play. And I think football is such a great tool for young guys to learn how to be young men and to stick together and work at something and to, understand loss and understand winning, and that life's not always fair. And sometimes you don't win every game, just like you just don't win in life at everything you do. But the matters of fact is about getting up and going to practice the next week after a loss, or getting up and getting ready for the next snap if you miss a tackle. And that's the things that the conversation come up about, combining how things are between here and Georgia, and how it seems like, I hear people say, well, they got it figured out over there. AHSAA does such a great job. Well, they got more money, and there's a lot more people. Tyler Dalton checking in from Tyler Insider. Listen, guys, Taylor is country as they are. He's proud to be country from Ider. Go to Spotify and type in Bum Pickens. It's hilarious. He has his own little funny spin on giving scores and updates for the area up there on the mountain for DeKalb County area. And it's funny. It's good. Tyler Dalton, been on this page with us for years. Ben, what's going on here? Ben says if they do the split with private schools, then they will do a larger, smaller group. Probably so. Don't split them. I don't know. I don't know either. This is my personal opinion. Y'all can write this down and then wad it up and throw it away, because it ain't worth as much as nothing, nobody's opinion. Mine's not. I don't think they're going to split them this year. I think there's going to be some turnover probably in their office. They have a lot of older people still there that's, they're looking to retire sometime. And I think they may wait until some turnovers happened in the offices. This is just my opinion, and it means nothing, and ain't nobody really told me that. I'm just saying, looking at it I like looking at things differently, and that's why I'm just a little different. A macro view, not a micro. Macro, big view. If they're going to have turnover in office, then it's politics. I mean, like in Washington, they're not going to appoint. They don't want to appoint. They want to appoint Supreme Court people, before they get out of office, so they can get their person in. Because the next office comes in, and then they'll change it. See? So I think, while some changes may be coming, I think that may hamper some of this, I think. What's going on, Jeremy? Good to see you, brother. Thank you for all that you do for our schools, Cherokee County. Really enjoy your show. Thank you, Jeremy. Plus, city schools are similar. Yeah, that's a good point. It is, and that's what we're talking about, the difference of it's the same thing, man. It's money allocation. It really, that's just what it's about. It's just about being able to allocate money. Where you can put your money at. And this is it really is such a shame, honestly, that money has become, such a big thing that's kind of all talk about. It's 9:40 nearly, and I ain't seeing nobody on live. So y'all just hang in there, come by and hang out, and we'll talk about what y'all think and where you're representing from, and call me crazy, but the decision should be driven by students, not. Yeah, I I agree. You want to do what's fair for them, and unfortunately, some of the saying, a few run it for everybody. We've all heard that, and I think that's what's happened a lot in high school football. That some people's taking advantage of. Some people's taking advantage of things, but new director, great guy. From what I've heard from other people that's worked around him, said he's the right guy. His vision and goal is based on what's best for the student athletes here in Alabama. So we look forward to seeing what the announcements are, and kind of where everything's at, and how's everybody going to line up. Let's see here. GM Live TV. Just keeping a check on it. It's 9:40. Let's see. Just covering all the bases here. Live streams. Let's see what this one has. It's the same thing. I think it's the same thing I got. Yep, same thing I got. Make sure we're just checking, keep an eye on stuff. Just clicking around here, going on Facebook, YouTube, High School Football Alabama, John Holder, Michael Short, keeping a check on them. Looking over here at my buddies on Average Joe's page, Starkey, see what they got going on. Okay, let's see. What's up, Andy? Good to see you on there. Yep, nothing. We're waiting. They said, they're going to meet at 9, and they're going to, as soon as they adjourn, then they'll come out and they'll put the list out to probably WOTM. They're going to get it just like everybody else, and all little different media groups, like from mine to High School Football Alabama to Average Joe's. 3 guys, same goal, different. Usually people that watch one, they usually watch all. I do. I mean, I've been friends with Starkey since I started doing this, and Coach Short got to know him more, and John Holder got to know them more and more the last 3 or 4 years, and been on the sidelines with them, and great guys for the community, and it's good to share. Yeah, college basketball, the kid that played some G League European basketball. Baylor's got a guy that done it, and there's a couple other schools that's already done that. And just because one person, does something, they're not breaking any rules. But it's another one of those things, man. This during college stuff, you're gonna just see. Everybody keeps saying you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. So Coach Oates is like, well, if we don't take him, somebody else will get him. So we might as well get him. So it's kind of like that's what they're doing. So that's what we're going to do. Going to do too. He is. I love Coach Short. Good guy. Just talked to him this morning earlier, and just trying to get a pulse of what's going on. And the word was they're going to have open. The board meeting is going to be at 9. When they adjourn, supposedly at 9:15, they'll, I guess, put it out to TV. Their AHSAA TV, so they'll be the first to tell. and that's fine. I don't care. I enjoy this, what we're doing right now, just talking about high school and seeing where everybody's from, and good topics and good conversation. Clay Chalkman, wow, okay. Yes, I have heard that too. I've heard they could move up 7A. The big thing is that, private, you know, private schools, and they want to be Georgia. We want to do what they're doing, and I said a minute ago, it's just you can't. It's hard to take a model and try to model something that we don't have the same parts. It's like trying to, like, you see somebody's model car. I know maybe y'all are old enough to have built model cars. Maybe I'm using it. I make examples. That's how I explain stuff. Like teaching in classroom where I used to do that stuff. You want to build the same pretty model car that I'm checking the website, seeing they're going live. I haven't seen nothing yet. And you start putting your car together and like, well, he has the chrome wheels on his. Oh, well, his windows are tinted. Well, the hood raises on his model, and you don't have the same pieces, So to try to, they have so many private schools in Georgia, guys. I don't. We can't model ourselves after what they're doing because it's not the same. They have so darn many schools. And do y'all like the way it is now? I mean, okay, press conference starting now. All right, let's see here. Let me try to hit the. Yep. Here we go.
It's never permanent. We believe this is a strong, solid plan. But as with every classification cycle, we will listen to our membership and make adjustments as needed. The AHSAA is committed to working collaboratively with our member schools, public and private. For more than 100 years, this association has provided student athletes across Alabama with some of the best opportunities in the nation. That success is no accident. It is the result of dedicated leadership from our legislative council, central board members, executive directors, and staff. The AHSAA remains a national leader in education-based athletics, and this alignment strengthens our ability to serve every student athlete within our mission across the state. At this time, we'll take some questions.
Speak up. Just kind of how will it work with, now currently football, you region fly all together, kind of how will that work when you split them all into different seasons?
So what we'll have is we will have, with our public schools, we'll have 6 classifications. The largest classification will be 6A, which will have 32 schools. 1A through 5A will be evenly distributed. And then we will have 2 classifications for our private schools, a single A and double A. Our AA will have the largest 17 private schools, and the single A will have the remaining private schools.
You said, so you're going away from the 7A, you're going to do 1 through 6A, right?
That is correct, for our public school classification.
Other questions? Okay, Jim.
How much of a stomach was there to actually split public and private schools and make them totally separate?
So it never was a part of any of those conversations. We feel like that there's great benefit to membership, and we appreciate and value all of our member schools.
Other questions? Okay, Max?
Do you think with all the other issues in high school sports, obviously there's the Choose Act, there's some threats from the legislative body, NAL changes, do you think that maybe this was the right time to do this move? Or do you guys think maybe the other issues should maybe be brought up at this period?
So I think that our central board felt like this was the right time to look at restructured championship pathways. We are about opportunity, and what this does is provide more opportunities for our athletic programs throughout the state.
Coach, how much political pressure was involved in this?
So obviously we want to work with political entities, but that at the end of the day, that is not our job, is to react to political pressure. Our job is to do the mission of the central board, which is what our central board did. So we do want to work with people who are interested in high school athletics, but we don't operate under any pressure or anything like that.
John, before you go, Kurt, can I ask him a question?
If you'll ask it, go ahead.
I may not answer.
Okay, I know that you know the private side better than a lot of the other ones. What kind of feedback were you getting from the private schools on this format?
Well, of course, as it went along, they wanted to stay a part of it, as far as coaches. Now, I think administrators and some of them may have had a little different opinion, but talking to coaches and all, they all wanted to stay in and kind of stay on the same guidelines.
Other questions? Okay,
Coach, this is the first time in 104 years that we've separated. How difficult was that decision as you worked through it, and what were the final deciding points you think to do it this way?
Yeah. First of all, we're talking about words, semantics, right? But we're not separating. We are restructuring championship pathways. This is not a separation. This is a restructuring of championship pathways. So it impacts who plays who in the playoffs. Does not impact anything else. So what this does is provide
Good answer.
expanded opportunities for championships.
Hey, that's the great answer. He's good, man. That is a great answer. That's a great answer.
See the teams in playoffs, I guess, going forward now that I guess region play won't really be affected. Maybe it isn't the best.
what's your question?
Like, how will the playoffs now be seeded? Because obviously there are some regions with a couple private schools and some with not.
Yeah, so we'll be coming out with all of the different pathways. We have a meeting on February 6th where we will discuss. Maybe the central board approves at that time, or maybe it's just discussion. But then we will have a subsequent meeting after that where we will be approving brackets, championship pathways, and releasing that out.
It's a good answer, Sean, ain't it? Ain't that a good one, Sean?
Yes, that's going to be released today.
Just fall sports.
Fall sports.
Jimmy?
Just to make sure we're clear that with the competitive.
It's restructuring, Wayne. That's what they're doing.
That's correct.
They're all going to have their own pathways to championships. Not really a split, just a restructure, because it's all going to be under the same umbrella.
Do you worry that maybe public schools won't want to play the private schools?
So I don't think, I think that they will play. And I think that there's going to be opportunity there, the way the schedules will be set up. One of the things that we are going to address, the board's going to address tiebreakers to make sure that those are in place with those teams playing in the regular season. But I foresee them wanting to play.
Other questions? One more, John, go ahead.
I got a question for you. Okay, you're looking at 1 through 6 and then the private school. Are you go? I know that y'all have not really released what the region or it's gonna be. Are you gonna have a different region for private and different region for public, or how they gonna work for you?
So all that's going to be released today. The overall classification is 6 public school classifications, with 6A being the largest, the 32 schools, and the others evenly distributed. And then in the private school, AA is the 17 largest private schools by their true enrollment, and single A is the remaining number. And then after this press conference today, we're going to be releasing, and Ron's going to talk more about that in a minute, but we're going to be releasing those regional alignments.
Is that the same situation for volleyball, and what's the situation with flag football?
Yes, so all of that will be released today, all of our 5. Now, in different sports, we don't necessarily have, if you think about in football, there will be 6 public classifications and 2 private school classifications for a total of 8. Okay, so you're already increasing championships by one. Some of the other sports we had different, like our last classification, flag football, had 2 classes. So we had enough for a 6A, 7A championship and enough for a 1A through 5A. Flag football is a great example of a sport that's growing leaps and bounds. So there will be additional classifications, public and private. So all of that will be released today for our fall sports.
Other questions?
I guess all this will be in the works, but the Super 7 or whatever we're gonna call it now is coming to Mobile. And it's already gonna be 4 days. Is that something, a decision that'll, as far as how that aligns and?
Yeah, we'll be working through that, coming up with that schedule and releasing that as soon as possible. But the great thing about Mobile is we had already decided to do a 4-day pilot because we thought a 4-day championship might be better. And so that 4th day is going to be very helpful in this cause.
Any other questions? Well, listen, we appreciate it. What's fixing to happen then? Mr. Harmon's got work to do. And we're gonna transition real quickly, and we're gonna have a reveal show where we're gonna go through OTM TV and NFHS Network, and we're gonna go through the reclassification, and we're gonna go through the fall sports football alliance. Probably all we have time for. But all of that will be on the website as soon as we've gotten everything adjusted and ready to be uploaded. Should be within 30 minutes, I would say. Okay, thank y'all. Thank you, Central Board.
Well, there you go. That's what we got. So, thoughts and concerns, or anybody? What are y'all thinking? Yeah, when we got him as a new director, I asked some people like, hey, I don't know this guy. So I asked some coaches, I asked some retired coaches, and the 4 or 5 that I talked to all said the same thing. New director here at AHSAA, they like him. They think he's fair. They think he's going to do he's going to do a good job. He understands what's going on. He's not, way above to where he don't get the new age, but he's not real young where he understands the middle. He didn't say split. He said it's a new pathway for championships. That is a great answer, because what I said to open the show was, yeah, guys, number one, I know we get wrapped up in football. Mine play too, and I cover it and talk about it a lot. I like bragging on kids in the small area up here in northwest part of Alabama. I've been doing it for 6 years. It's supposed to be about them. That's the whole reason, was to shine on, and for me particularly, to give some shine on small schools like Spring Gardens, Gilsels, and Cedar Bluffs and Sand Rocks that didn't get hardly any talk. And, Church County did. They're a bigger school, but not a lot. And it's supposed to be about them. And if restructuring the championship path for them to where you want to have competitive games. Nobody wants to see Georgia TCU, right? Nobody wanted to ever see that. Nobody ever want to see Georgia TCU in high school. And there's been some blowouts, I know, and in classifications, not including private schools. But, and how things were kind of modeled, it just kind of, public school people, my son being a part of one, felt like they kind of, were kind of at a disadvantage because of the monies involved. But also, you got to remember this, not all private schools have money. We just assume, well, those rich kids, they just pour money. That's not true for everybody. If you're from up here in this area, and if you only been keeping up with this for a little while, you just know Coosa Christian to be good here for the past couple of years. Guys, Cedar Bluff, we played them for homecoming every year, and we beat them 50-0. They were private school. So what was, like, well, they're private. Why didn't they have? It's always still going to be about Jimmy's and Joe's having the athletes to do it, but you still have to have a coach to put together a staff that has a belief, has a vision, and has a dream to build something. Because money, look, if money won it all the time, then just all the biggest money schools would win it. Like in college, like I guess Texas Tech or Notre Dame. You don't think Notre Dame ain't got money? They're the Catholic Church. Of course they got money. So you still have to have the right coach to put the right pieces in place to still motivate these young men to play the game. So not, it's kind of like the NIL. Well, all these kids are making millions. No, the center that Bama just got from Cal Poly ain't making the same money that Ryan Williams is making. So you can't just broad stroke and say, well, all the private schools cheat. Well, that's just not true. That's not fair to the kids, because there's a lot of kids at private schools that didn't have money that eat crap for years and never won nothing. Sometimes they just put some work into it, get the right coaches there, and once you start winning, it could be just like a public school. Once you start winning, kids will come. Before Coach Smith come to Piedmont, they wouldn't win a lot of games. But Coach Smith, he's a good coach. And once he got over there and got his toes into it and got to building something, we knew he was going to be he's just a good coach. He knows how to motivate young men, and his style of doing it works. And once they started winning one championship or two at Piedmont, well, how long was it then? It wasn't long. Well, kids want to go win. And not all of them hung around because he's hard. He's hard to play for because he wants to win. And everybody, what's the saying? People with excellence make, people uncomfortable that are just mediocre. So, sometimes that's just kind of the way it kind of stretches out. So now to have yeah. Yep. You're right, Philip. That's the way I took it too, Ben. That's the way I seen it too. I think they'll be able to play other schools unless they require a minimum number of right. Yeah. And I think somebody asked that question. Yeah, that's going to be strange, man. How long has it been Super 7? It ain't been Super 7 that long. Because I remember a time just not. How long it's been Super 7? 10 years? Is that right? 15 years? I remember Cedar Bluff going and playing Sweetwater at Legion Field. Jamie Hampton was quarterback. And we played Sweetwater and won a state championship, and they beat the crap out of us. Man, crap. Okay, we got the regions. Let me put this up here and quit talking. Can I back this up? Crap. All right, 2A Region 3, Aliceville. All this stuff will be up later, and I'll come back to it. Okay. Well, let me get it right. Hang on. Be patient with me. There we go. Y'all can see what we got going on here. So the point system for private schools are gone. And private schools counting like, 1.35 as one, that's gone too. Yes, that's the way I see it. Really, Ben? Wow. Holy smoly. I guess they're all just going to back down. Like Cedar Bluff was 2A, they'll go back to 1, stuff like that. Plainview, Sylvania, Geraldine, still a lot of the same. A lot of that same region. 4A Region 1, South, a lot of the same teams here. Viger, Williamson, Orange Beach. New Brockton High School, Strine, 4A Region 2. These are South teams. It's on WOTM TV. It don't have any sound on it. I'm just playing it. It's on WOTM. Dasher, Brooks, Region 7, Hamilton, Priceville, West Morgan, everybody up this way. Region 8. Still, Cherokee County is going to be in region with the same kind of, seeing Gunnersville will be a new one. And we don't see Anniston. Was Anniston 3? I guess he was. I heard they may move down. Crossville, Hayden, Sardis High School. Wow. Okay. All right. Region 5A. Yeah. So that's the thing that some people don't accommodate. This is something else you got to think about, guys, and thought. Georgia playoffs, they drive now. Now they may drive 2 or 3 hours for a playoff. It's not really north south. It's different. So that's something else you got to think about too if you're trying to compare. Oh, really? Yeah, I hate that. Kids need to play football, man. They need to play football. It's good. Aerospace, aviation. Oh, Lord. Wadley's 1A Region 6 with Lochapoka and Winterboro, Woodland. Okay. I didn't I didn't see it. Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, Aberville's got a good school. That'd be better than 5 or 6A. They would be. Yeah, who was they in region with? I was over here watching the other side of it, and I didn't see. Okay, okay. Here's you got Coosa Christian will be in with Decatur, Mars Hill, Shoals, Westbrook. Okay, okay. Let's see here. Let me work here, guys. Hang on. Okay, let me do this. Hang on with me. Y'all just keep on the screen there and I mash play. Yes. Tab. Okay. We're working here. We're working. Where's it at? Okay, so there's that. Okay. Okay. There's that and this, and let's go right here. Okay. So Aniston's still there. Okay. So we went through and we got the privates, and I'll have up more as they come out here too. Let's see. That's the page. Let's see if they have they posted anything. Are they gonna post the no? No, that's not it. Hmm. Okay, we're hunting. I'm hunting a real piece here, and y'all can find this with me here. We watched it roll live, and now we're trying to find actual print. Okay, Cedar Bluff, same region. Cedar Bluff, Appalachian, Galesville, Raglan, Spring Garden, Valley Head, Woodville. Aaron, that's for you. Okay, Aaron. Valley Head is 1A Region 8. They'll be in Appalachian, Cedar Bluff, Galesville, Raglan, Spring Garden, Valley Head, Woodville. So that's pretty much the same. A lot of the same that we've seen before. That's not strange for that to be a region there. Class 1A again, Region 8, Appalachian, Cedar Bluff, Galesville. And we'll have all through the day, I'll have real photos of this stuff, and I'll put them on the page. Y'all come by a Facebook page there, Locker Room Sports Talk, and I'll put them up through the day, and we'll have all that. So 1A Region 8, Appalachian, Cedar Bluff, Galesville, Raglan, Spring Garden, Valley Head, Woodville. 2A Region 4. Wow, that's different. Lynette to Horseshoe Bend to Rambler to Randolph County to Reeltown, Baby Comer. Usually 1 through 4 is north teams. Horseshoe Bend and wow, okay. All right. Yeah, we got single A and double A private school now. So they'll have their own championship. And so that's kind of it. Okay. So now, let's see who's got some copies. See if I got photocopies of if they posted anything. High school football, Alabama. John Holder, Coach Short. We're looking at them over there. He's, let's see here. 6 public classifications, 2 private classes. Done away with competitive balance. So yeah, because you won't need it because they're not going to play each other. Be 1 through 6A now for public schools, and 2 be single A and a double A privates. Both will still play each other during the season, but now I don't them playing each other is not gonna, it's not going to count towards your, because it's not going to be in your region. Because if you're now like 6A, somebody could play, like say Southside wanted to play a smaller private school because numbers wise they may be the same. Maybe they could play a double A private school. So what does that mean? Well, they could play but it's not going to count. It won't. It's not going to count as a game on your schedule. That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? It's not. It'd be just like, if Cherokee County wanted to play Cedar Bluff, or if Boaz, wanted to, if Boaz or somebody, Iberville come to 5, maybe they want to play West Morgan in 4A, they can play them, but it's not going to count as a region game. So the public and the private schools could play each other, but it's not going to be towards a region game. No, I don't think so, Wes. And I don't know if you're just being super, if you're just being funny or no, because city schools and county schools they're still under AHSAA. See what I'm saying? They're both still under that. 2A Region 6. Piedmont Bulldogs, heads up. Piedmont Bulldogs, you're in 2A Region 6. Piedmont, you will be in region with Gaston, Ohatchee, Pleasant Valley, Sacs, Vincent, Walter Welborn, and West End. Whoa. Poor Gaston. Ohatchee's in the middle of a bad spot. West End, Walter Welborn, kind of, I don't know about Vincent. Sacs is usually a good competitive school, but Piedmont being in with Pleasant Valley. Out of Wall, Calhoun County. Yeah. 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 Oh boy. Yeah, it's not going to be like a. It's not just an even swap if you're talking about, if you're talking about. Well, we got rid of playing a good private school, but now like Pleasant Valley, was moved and Sachs. Well, Caston, it's in the region with Piedmont. Guys, what are we doing? That, sheesh. Yeah, 2A Region 8. Yeah. 2A Region 7, guys, is like Lexington, Phil Campbell, Tanner. 3A Region 4, Hanley. Heads up, Hanley. You got Munford, Talladega, Weaver. White Plains, you're 3A Region 4 now with Cleveland County, Childersburg, Asheville, and all of them. Golly, this is I've seen a few others that like the 1A Cedar Bluffs, like, Spring Garden and Gales or whatever, and Raglan and Apple. Those are kind of normal. It's not strange for, like, Cedar Bluff and Spring Garden. Those kids play each other all the time, know each other, so it's not a big deal. Kind of, pretty close county. They're going to have to go Spring Garden, traveling to Appalachian. That'll be a pretty nice little drive, but Coach Dupree at Gaston, he's just kind of got started over there this past year too. Now he's going to have to game plan for Piedmont. Coach Miller. Oh, me. Oh, guys. No, Aaron, they had them on there. That was Valley Head, Cedar Bluff, Spring Garden. Had Raglan on there. Maybe maybe they're going to be able to field a team this year. I love kids playing football. I'm not ever for kids for having to close a school. I hate that. Yeah, 3 Region 4, Hanley, Asheville, Munford. Asheville having to drive to like Talladega. It's not too far. Hanley's not a terrible drive. Childersburg's a little drive. Yeah, we're getting this stuff as it comes out all day. Yep, 3 Region 4. Kind of talking about that. Hanley. Yeah, Cleveland County and White Plains played a good game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hooks Bluff must be in. Did Hooks Bluff stay? Did Hooks Bluff stay 4A? See, I missed some of those. What's up, John? See, the Indians won Airable competitive cheer 7A in their state championship for going to Orlando, Florida, ESPN. Wow. Wednesday. All right. Hey, good luck to them. Good to see you on here. Hope you're having a good day, brother. It's be competitive cheerleading. His daughter, yeah, Olivia. Big, nice looking, tall, strong looking young lady from Aberville. Competition cheer 7A. ESPN. What about that, Jonathan? Ain't that? We just some old poor guys from Cedar Bluff. Look, we got a daughter. You got a daughter on ESPN. What about that? That's pretty cool. Okay, hang on a minute. Whoa, hold the phone. Hang on a minute. 3A Region 6. Attention, attention, Etowah. Oaks Bluff, Glencoe, Hansville, Holly Pond, Aniana, Susan Moore, and Vinemont. 3A Region 6. Oaks Bluff, Hansville, Glencoe, Etowah, Holly Pond, Aniana, Susan Moore, and Vinemont. Vinemont. I'm gonna have to look at these a little bit. First time history out of all 3A. Etowah 3A. Never been 3A. They can play with. That's a good move for them because they've been down a little bit. Yeah, Cherokee County stayed 4. Was they? I don't know if I've seen it yet. Aniana, Etowah, Glencoe. Holy moly, man. Wow. Guys, there's a lot of stuff going on here. This is some regions have moved and it's really crazy. And some of them moved and it's really not real. It's not real crazy. Hmm. 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 Let's see here. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, yeah, that Sachs was, yeah, they're with, they're in region with Piedmont and Pleasant Valley and, all your Calhoun County schools are all going to be kind of hanging around right there. Let's see if I can fix this. Crap. Come on. Now. Yeah, that's true. This has been the biggest moves around that I've seen so far. I'm trying to keep an eye on there on the Facebook pages and stuff and see, because we've seen it roll on the screen, the different regions, but I want to see some that's printed. Yeah, here we go. I got some coming over here now. Private schools, single A. St. James, Montgomery Academy, Mobile Christian, Coosa, Decatur. Where is, okay, Westbrook is in with Coosa. Okay, region would be single A, region 4 will be Westbrook and Coosa. Mars Hill is really good. Mars Hill is really good. Region 3, single A, private school. See if y'all know some of these. Tuscaloosa Academy, really good football team. Victory Christian. So that's, and in region 1, of course, south is Mobile Christian, Bayshore Christian, Bayside Academy, Providence Christian, of course, St. Luke's. Holy moly. St. Luke's Episcopal. So I hadn't seen any double A yet. So they got some of these out here. So share that for Powerhouse Sport, Andrew and the boys over there. Shout out to them. Wow. Holy moly. Finding out like y'all do, just trying to gather some info. This is, we'll know more by after lunch. There'll be AHSAA will start printing out some real paperwork, some real minutes here, something to look at. All right, 5 Red Devils. Hang on to your pants here. 5 Red Devils. Aaron, you still on here? Where you at, Aaron? Aaron, where you at? Wake up. Let's see, Aaron. We have Class 2A, Region 8. Guys up Cherokee County area, take a listen. Region 8, 2A, Section, Sandrock, Pisgah, North Sand Mountain, Taylor Dog, Tider, and Cider. You're in region with 5, Collinsville, and Brindley Mountain. So they kind of just, well, that's kind of the same region, sort of. Well, let's see. Collins will come down to 2. So Collinsville 5 will meet again for region play. Putting Ider in there with them. North Sand, Pisgah, Sandrock section, I think they've been in regions together some before. So this is not too crazy. Change a lot. Yeah, Collinsville at 5 and Brindley Mountain. Good Lord, that's going to be tough. Collinsville 5 to 2A is. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because they dumped 7A. Yeah, the numbers changed. Not maybe you didn't lose as many kids, but the numbers that were like before, if you had to have, 100 kids, 9 through 12. If it was 200, now maybe it's 150. So you bump down to 2A instead of being 3A from before. That's a good point. That maybe from 3A, like if you were 3A, then the numbers are. You got to have, I'm just making up a number, 300 kids, 9 through 12. And now it's only 250. So you're thinking, well, we got bumped down in classification because we've lost kids. Well, no, the number changed. That's all it is. Trying to find some printed stuff. All right, what are y'all seeing here? 5 physical returns to region opponents. Yeah. Have a copy for classification. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on all day. What's up, Jeff? We're just doing some high school reclassification stuff going on here right now. We just kind of went through it for about the past hour. Man, private and public, Jeff, has decided to take restructure their championship classifications to where there's a single A and a double A private schools now, Jeff, here in Alabama. Jeff's over from Carrollton area in Georgia. He keeps us up on all Georgia high school stuff. And the top 17 private schools will be one single A and double A. And then the ones will be, double A. What's up, Johnny? Yeah, so the news is 4A, hang on, Johnny. 4A Region 6, Alexandria, Anniston, Clay, Jacksonville, Leeds, Lincoln, Moody, Sylacauga. 4A Region 6, Anniston being there. Anniston will be good games with Jacksonville, Leeds, Lincoln, Moody. Have a good team. Alabama just picked up their receiver, the Williams kid from Moody, their top receiver. So yes, Johnny, the recap was there's a double A private schools now. The top 17 private schools in the state are double A private, and the other ones left from under that will all be single A private schools. Coosa Christian and Westbrook Christian, for example, will be single A private. Now, what does that mean for public schools and city schools that are reclassified? There's 1 through 6A now. So some teams have compressed down because, like I said, if your numbers to be a 3A is, 300 kids, I'm just making an example, from 9 through 12, well, now it's just 250. So, or now it's 350. So you can bump down to 2A because the number went up. So, you could think, well, some of these schools are losing some kids, but some of them we thought were going to drop anyway. Like Coach Benefield said at 5, I think last year everybody kind of thought 5 was going to come down back to 2A. They've played 2A most of their history at 5's been 2A. They just have bumped up here lately in the past, on and off. Reclassification before they were 3A and they won it. They beat Montgomery Catholic. Jeremiah Cobb, actually, the tailback at Auburn, was there, and 5 beat them. And so there's 1A and double A now in private, and there's 1 through 6A for public. And the realignment for different regions now is going to be it looks some of them's a good bit different. Now, some we saw like the 2A for, up here in Northwest Alabama, like, Sand Rock and Collinsville, 5 and Brindley Mountain coming out of that 3 going to 2 with, like Sand Rock and Section and North Sand Mountain. But those teams they play each other. Even, Collinsville's 3A, Sand Rock still scheduled and played them. So that's not a huge change. Now, Alexandria being in, winning that region last year, Coach Ginn, they got a good football team. They got a lot of guys back. They're going to have to, battle with the region champs. The region champs there, Anniston, winning that region, winning the North, and Anniston going to state championship game. But Coach Jackson has gone and take a different job. But Jacksonville, they've played, big boy football. Jacksonville, hadn't they been up to 5A? Lincoln's had good teams. Moody, we just saw them play the 5A championship, right? That's tough. So that's going to be a knockdown. 4A Region 6 is going to be Alexandria, Anniston, and Moody. And Leeds has got players, man. Jacksonville, they're not going to be far behind. No, they got a new coach and all, but I can promise you, Jacksonville's not going to be far behind in any of this. Sylacauga, that 4A Region 6 is – 4A Region 6 looks tough. So that's kind of the recap there. Yeah, Jacob's still at up Tennessee, up Leadman. He's still at Cumberland. That's where Jacob's still. He's going to be up there, Cumberland, Tennessee. So Georgia did a reclassification Division 1 and 2 into one Class A. No Class A is split between private and public. Also, they created a new 7A. Oh, okay, so Georgia went up. They've created a 7A and mashed together. They mashed their two divisions of private into Class A. No Class A is split between private and public. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, that 4A Region 6, Smoky Joe's, man. Yeah, Sylacauga, Leeds, Lincoln. Yeah, 4A Region 6 will be about an hour drive at the most for any of those teams. So this is the biggest change really in high school since we went from 4 to 6A 30-something years, 40 years ago in 84. A lot of difference. Yeah, 7A is gone. It's 1 through 6. So they just took the place, the privates, the single A and double A has took the place of the 7A. So what they'll have a day, since they're doing – yeah, baseball, basketball. Now remember, this is all, won't happen right now for baseball, but next spring, this time in 2027, you're going to see, some like good baseball teams. That's usually good. Like Piedmont's always had good baseball. Westbrook's coming on, have good baseball. They're out. It's going to be different. Okay, Cherokee County. Pay attention. Cherokee County Warriors. Cherokee County 4A Region 8. Completely different region. Cherokee County Warriors. Here's your region. Coach Bailey Blanchard. Attention, Coach Bailey Blanchard. If you're on, somebody tag him in this and send this to him. Coach Bay, your region now, 4A Region 8, Cherokee County will now be in region with AP Brewer, which I'm pretty sure is up the road here, down the road from me, about 30 minutes. Crossville, Fairview, Good Hope, Gunnersville, Hayden, and Sardis. Guys. This is a real talk show, and we don't try to act like we know something when we don't, because there's a lot of stuff I do know, but some stuff I don't know. And I don't know nothing about Hayden High School. Hayden High School is wait a minute. Hayden High School. Make sure this is. Hayden Elementary. It's in Hayden. Blunt Springs, Mount Olive, Sugar Creek. No way, that's west. If I'm seeing Warrior and Jasper. Oh my gosh. All right. Holy crap. Well, Cherokee County fans. It is. Oh, way. Wait a minute. That ain't right. What? Not Cherokee County, Georgia. Nut. So Cherokee County in region, this Hayden team. All right, guys, Hayden, attention, Cherokee County Warriors, Coach Blanchard, staff, Coach Turner, and guys. You're in regional Hayden now. They are about 30 minutes north of Birmingham. It's an hour and a half drive over there. Go down I-59 and get off there at Asheville and get on 231, Cherokee County Warrior fans, and go to Aniana. You've been there before. And just keep hammering down 231. Go to Cleveland. It'll swap over to 160. Go through Sugar Creek, Mount Olive, and you'll be over there close to Blunt Springs, close to Hayden High School. Hour and a half drive. So Cherokee County High School. Hayden is going to be a little drive for you. Sardis, Gunnersville's another hour drive. Good Hope, hour. Fairview, Crossville, AP Brewer. I think that's up here. I think it is. Yes, it is. It's just right down the road from about 30, 40 minutes from me. Cherokee County, you will be traveling to Brewer High School over here. It'll be 2 hours nearly. Yeah. Hour and 40 minutes with a bus, probably close to 2 hour and 55. Just go to Gadsden, go to Tala, and get off on the funky little left up there to go past Mountaintop Trade Day. Go all the way up through there, go all the way through Walnut Grove, go through Sneed. And what you're going to do, there's a place called a little barbecue place, Lulu's Barbecue off 278. You'll make that right. And 231, and you'll go right up the road just maybe a mile, and you'll turn back left on 67. I've been that way several times, and it's just right up there in a nice looking place. So Cherokee County Warriors, again, paying attention here. AP Brewers in your region, 4A Region 8 for Cherokee County. I've been by there 3 or 4 times in a month, and they're spending some money. They've got new light stuff set up. There's a lot of dirt been pushed around. You can see where looks like they're probably going to be adding parking and stuff. Well, they're going to have to drive some. Yeah, Jeff. So Cherokee County, y'all pay attention. Heads up, warning alert. Class 4A Region 8 again. AP Brewer, Cherokee County, Crossville, Fairview, Good Hope, Gunnersville, Hayden, way to Birmingham. So, good Lord, I mean, imagine AP Brewer having to drive to Hayden. Man, they might as well just get on 65 and drive 2 hours. That's going to be a stretched region. This is completely new. Cherokee County is going to play from Birmingham to Gunnersville. Hang on. Come on here. It's Gunnersville High School from Center, Alabama. 1 hour. That'll be one of your shorter trips. 4A Region 8. Again, everybody catching up on the page when y'all come by. Make sure you get a thumbs up on the page. I sure would appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. And we'll be going through this all day, sort of on and off, getting these regions put up for everybody. College football's done. There's still some portal stuff going on, so you can come by here on the page Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday at 6, and be glad to come on here and talk football with you, locker room sports talk. A lot of college football, mostly because that's the bigger thing. A lot of attracts a lot of people, and a lot of people are talking about Alabama, Auburn, Georgia. Those are the three teams we cover mostly, but we talk about everybody. And give you some coverage and news of what's going on in college football with the portal. We'll have special guest Dexter Tauburn on last week to talk about recruiting and how kids to be ready for recruiting, things they can do to prepare themselves, and how to get in touch with trainers, and what camps to be at and those kind of things. So that's just one of the benefits of being a member here and being a part of the gang here at Locker Room Sports. Those kind of stuff you get to find out. So 4A Region 8, AP Brewer, Cherokee County, Crossville, Fairview, Good Hope, Gunnersville, Hayden, Sardis. Wow. Holy smokes, man. This is a let's see here, guys. All right, hang on. Wow. Class 6A will be 4 regions. Okay. All right, Jeff. See you, brother. Have a good day. See you on Sunday. Class 4A Region 8. Cherokee County, traveling way up Crossville, Fairview, Good Hope, Gunnersville, Hayden. 5A Region 6. 5A, Clay Chalkville, 5A. Douglas, Oxford, Pell City, Pinson Valley, Southside, Springville, and St. Clair County. Why did Douglas get dumped in that 5A Region 6? Did they make somebody mad? How they go? They can't play Oxford and Pell City and Pinson Valley. Guys, so Southside guys, I had some people on here earlier from Southside, 5A Region 6. 5A Region 6. Southside guys, you're in line with Oxford and Clay Chalkville and Pinson Valley. Woof. Pinson Valley's never I don't think they've ever been 5A. Wow. All right. Fort Payne. News alert. Fort Payne, Albertville, Arab, Boaz, Columbia, Lee, May Jemison, and Scottsboro. It's 5A Region 8. 5A Region 8 again is let me turn this. 5A Region 8, Albertville, Arab, Boaz, Columbia, Fort Payne, Lee, May Jemison, and Scottsboro. Okay, that's it's pretty good, pretty good, pretty good here. A lot of changes, man. Holy moly, there's a guys. I had over 100. We got over 100 people on all together watching. Appreciate y'all coming by and hanging out. Hit the thumbs up before you go. Just won't cost you nothing, but a second of your time. Wow. Gadsden City, attention. Gadsden City and Huntsville. Gadsden City, Huntsville, pay attention. 6A Region 4, Bob Jones, Buckhorn, Gadsden City, Grissom, Hazel Green, Huntsville, James Clements, and Sparkman. Okay. Bob Jones, Buckhorn, Gadsden City. Gadsden City is in region now with Huntsville, Grissom, Hazel Green, James Clements, and Sparkman. Okay. Wow. These are a lot of stuff, guys, different. Yeah, we've been through the private schools. We kind of know them. CUSA and Westbrook Christian. Tiebreaker points not going to count private and public. No. Okay. Coaches think they would. Okay. But they split them now. Single A. Yeah. Okay. If a 5A school wanted to play a single A private school, would it count for a region win in a tiebreaker later at the end of the season for either one of them? Right. Yeah. All the double A schools will be all the top 17 private schools will be the double A private. Yes, this is a wild day of high school football in Alabama. Private and public redone their championship where they're going to have different championships for those teams, and you don't have to play them in the year, but you can if you want to. But the question is, this great question that's coming from real people. The real question is, guys, where, like, if I don't, just South Side, they're 5A, right? Now, what if they want to drive across town and they need to pick up one game? They need one spot and they can't get a darn game nowhere. And Coach Smith is the same way. He's like, man, we just need one game. Well, they just play each other. Well, when the year goes on, it gets down to the end of the season, and Southside is, tied for, just making a wild example here. What if Southside is tied for second place in their region? And for a tiebreaker, can they use the win if they was to beat Westbrook? Can they use those points from that win to bump them up to say, well, we got a tiebreaker here, and the only tiebreaker we got is Westbrook. Well, they're a single A private, and we're 5A public. Because you can use points from up 2 classifications. So 3 play to 5, they can use those points for tiebreaker. Whoa. There's stuff we don't know, man. And I know some people are thinking, well, why is that? Well, if your kid's playing, you got a kid playing, at one of these schools, and it comes down to some tiebreaker points, you're going to want to know that. Yeah, the multiplier is gone now. I don't need it because they're on divisions. You have a single A and a double A private. Competitive balance is gone. That's out. Heath Harmon, that's the director. I knew his name was Heath. I didn't. Playoffs, single A and double A privates are not going to play each other. They can play non-region play. They can play, but when we get to the playoffs, they won't. Their own playoffs. So, private schools break. Yeah, they went through it, and we kind of probably about the last 30 minutes or so there, Trey. It's 1 through 6A now. There's no more 7A because 7A has kind of been taken away because we're adding another classification, a group of privates, and in that group of private schools, there's a single A and then a double A. And they'll play each other for playoffs and have their own championship. So what I imagine they're going to do, they used to have a day like on Wednesday, 7A played. Well, now this is complete speculation. I don't know this, but I got some common sense. This coming next season on Wednesday in Mobile, where the high school state championship games will be at Super 6, the Wednesday will be a single A and a double A championship game. That's the way it'll be, a single A and a double A. But the question is, regular season, if Southside and Coosa Christian want to play, maybe they need a game. They're like, well, gosh, we can't find one game. Both of them's like, hey, they bump into each other. Hey, I'm looking for, hey, I am too, man. What about that? Yeah, I need a game too. So they play. Well, they get down towards the end of the season, and Coosa needs a point to help them to be, there's a tie for the second spot in single A private where Coosa's at, and Southside is in third place in their 5A in their region. And if they beat Coosa, then does that, multiplier, is that points for, playing out of class, is it still going to count? Because come playoff time, and because we've seen that before, we've seen, teams, some of these regions so far that I've seen already, Troy, it's Trey. It's not going to matter because some of the regions are perhaps, some of them's bad, like poor old Gaston. They're like, there's some schools in some tough ones. Like they're in Region 2A region with Piedmont. it's just going to be hard for Coach Dupree Gaston. He's trying to do something there, man, and they ain't been real good long. And I hate into that too, but it just is what it is. Yeah, so playoff games. Yeah, they won't play. There's a single A. They'll play for a championship, which is all the other teams other than the top 17 private schools. Now, the top 17 private schools will be the double A, which means their enrollment by numbers. So you'll have a 17-team tree playoffs type style of and they've got them set. You can find it on. I've shared some of them already on my page on Facebook. Like AHSAA Christian and Westbrook Christian are in I think it's like 18. There's 8 teams in a region, and they have this they'll have 4 or 4 single A regions, and then 4 double A regions. The 4 double A regions are the bigger private schools, and they're all of the Montgomery Catholics or the Mobile Christian academies, and all the big schools around Mobile and all those areas. So I guess there's 8 championship games, and yeah, that's kind of the way I understand it, Brian. That's kind of now I don't know that. I'm just saying by logic, just by common sense thinking, they dump 7, and 7A plays on Wednesday. So I would assume on that Wednesday, since there's not a 7A anymore, they'll play a single A, say, in the morning at 11, and then play a double A championship at 3. That'll be your Wednesday. Tuesday will be the 2 flag footballs. And then, because it's 4 days, so you'll have 2 flag games, single, double A, then you'll have 1 through 3, and then 4 through 6, Thursday and Friday. 1 through 3, and you'll play 1A, 3A, 5A, and then 2, 4, and 6A will play Friday. I think that pretty much that's exactly, and it's in Mobile this year. So teams that win in the North, I guess gas is so high too, man. How are these schools going to? Here's the thing, man. Here's something else we need to talk about. I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about that for a second. How is some of these schools up here in the north part of Alabama? There's some in the south too. I like Elba. Well, they're small school, man. They're not going to have to go that far just to go to Mobile, but they're still going to have to come with money but they can't afford charter buses. I mean, that's tough for those schools. Maplesville or something, or I mean, that Elba, man, they're a small school. But how's a school up here like? What if Spring Garden's been go to the playoffs all the time, just using them because they're a small school up in the north part that's been to a lot of playoffs. Use them for example. They win their region, and they win the North, and for their 1A, win the region and win 1A North. Who's going to put gas in these buses to drive to Mobile from Spring Garden? What if West Morgan wins this 4A North up here? It's in Huntsville. That 6A North up here, Huntsville. What if Huntsville wins? Gadsden City, who's going? Maybe some of the bigger schools, West Morgan, they can probably maybe, I don't know their finances, but they'll be more likely to afford to get a charter bus for their kids than kids from Spring Garden or Gales or Cedar Bluff. There's a lot of really, really rural schools up here. I'm always about doing what's best for the kids. So what's the best state of mind? What's the best for them? I mean, they're going to have to pack up on a school bus, and one of the dads is going to get him a box trutter, and he's going to haul all the kids' equipment down to Mobile. Is that what we're going to have to do? I'm thinking about it as a parent. I mean, I'm a fan of the game, but I had a kid play too, and I helped with the team all that I could, and worked at the church, and did my part during all that time. Sheesh. Yeah, who's going to fill up those 2 or 3 school buses with cheerleaders and football players to go to Mobile? Why are we going to Mobile? I don't like it. I didn't like it when they said he's going to do it. Just leave it in Birmingham, period. Play it in Birmingham. It's in the middle. It's in the middle, man. Why do we need to go? So it's just going to bounce from Mobile to Birmingham. That ain't – well, let's play it up here at Huntsville somewhere. Use UAH. It's right over here, 15 minutes where I'm at. Why can't they play over here? Is that going to be on rotation? Not from what I heard. And if somebody knows, please share and say, Matt, you're stupid. It's not. They're going to rotate it, and Huntsville's going to be part of it too. Yeah, it's going to be in South Alabama. Yeah, University South. It's going to be down there. So if you got a kid playing up here, so I guess you'll have to have a fundraiser, some kind, to pay $5,000 to charter a bus to take your football team down there. I don't know about that now. You can say what you think they should do, but I don't know. I don't think that's how that works. If we got a teacher on here that can give me some exacts, I don't think the state just says, "Oh, how much is it going to be for you to get here, Spring Garden? Oh, you need charter buses, $6,000. Okay, we'll have a check sent right up to you." That's not how it works. I'm just telling you. I've been around a lot of high school teams that went to state championships and went to playoffs. Oh my God, really? Baker played Florence at Baker, $20,000. See what I'm saying? That's not fair to the kids. Who's playing that? The schools ain't already got money now. We can't even buy dry erasers for the teachers, having to dig out of their own pockets and go buy supplies half the time. Kleenex, hand cleaner. Guys, we need to think about, number one, teachers and kids. Man, I love football more than anybody. But with all this changing too, man, there's going to be a lot of region changes, and we're fixing to see some more. I'll have them up on the page on my Facebook page today. This is not just football included. Remember, now we ain't had basketball or baseball come out yet, but some of these regions are going to kind of stick to where they are. Some of them's going to change a little, like they will. But travel for, on a winter night, like this weekend, what if you got a game tomorrow and you got all this, freezing winter weather advisories, and some team from way over here in Northeast Alabama is going to have to travel to Birmingham. That's part of their Cherokee County's got to go to Hayden and play basketball. What? I'm look, number one, me, kids are number one. I've run youth groups at church, and that's always been a reason I started doing the show, was to shine some light on kids in my small area from Cherokee County. I live up here around Morgan County now, and I'm complaining. I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I don't like the game being in Mobile. I just don't think it's fair to the North, because some of these very rural areas up here, these schools are not going to be able to afford it. No charter buses, so now they're going to have to take their own county school buses. Money is allocated through the county. Each of them has their own board, their own superintendents. I don't know. I want to know what's going to be best for them. Who's going to fill the buses up? And are we ever going to get a rotation on the state games being played in Huntsville? Yeah, Baker had to come to Opelika, went there and back single day because it wouldn't have cost way too much. Yes, that's a good point. Having to stay the night. Yes, great points, Trey. Not everybody is like private schools that have some, parents just had, maybe better life choices than some other ones, I guess. Just regular public kids like me. Yep, that's a good idea. You're the official Steve. Official Steve, I announce you as the right. Send an email. Talk to Mr. Howard. He's over the AHSAA board now. Say, hey, we dig it. It's going to be a nice, beautiful day down there in South Alabama. It's not going to be cold and freezing our tails off like it would be in Birmingham. But how are we going to get these kids down there? You're going to send a check to the board up here, to this board of education at whatever county up here at Madison County. Huntsville wins the North, 6A North. They got to go to Mobile and play a state game. They're probably better at basketball than football. How are they going to get down and play state championship? They're going to play. I mean, even drive to Birmingham's a good drive, but if we're going to play football, what's West Morgan, those teams up here? Good Hope, they got a good football team. I bet they're going to probably be favored to win a lot of games this coming season. They win the North. How you getting there? Who's paying the gas? They got to go to Mobile to play a state game. Leave it at Birmingham. Just leave it. Why would we not put it? I got to stop. Because it ain't right for the school and the kids, and it just bothers me. Leave it in the middle. There's no reason to have it and move it in the south. There's going to be their own committee. We have news here coming in. There's going to be a committee for the private schools. They're going to have their own committee. They're still under AHSAA umbrella. But there's going to be a director under the umbrella for the private schools for single A and double A. Okay, and they'll have their own championship committee that selects the teams and who's going to go where and do what. So that's going to be new too. Somebody that's already on staff at AHSAA will be the director for single A and double A private. So private schools will still be eligible, as they always have been, for all-star games and, Mr. Football awards. And like Ezekiel Crowell won Mr. Football in Alabama. Congratulations to Zeke from Jackson, the running back. He's already enlisted, already in class at University of Alabama. So if you got a kid at a private school that, does this or that, they're still available just like normal to win awards. Alabama, Mississippi All-Star games, still the same. Yes, all still under AHSAA. There's a single A and a double A in private. The top 17 private schools, will be double A, and the others of the less than from 18 down to the other. I guess there's 50 in the state, 40 in the state. So the other 30 will be split up among 16 regions. So 6 into 30 is 5. So I think there's 5 single A regions. And then I think there's 4 double A regions. Florida schools from that region 6, it's going to be Fayetteville, Ochapoka, and Nogosala. Wadley and Winterboro still in that same region. But Alabama Aerospace, holy crap, man. They're up here toward Huntsville. They're going to drive to Wadley? Again, who's filling up them tanks on them buses to drive them kids? 3 hours. 1A Region 8, Cedar Bluff, Valley Head, folks, pay attention. Gainesville, Alabama. 1A Region 8. This is one of the most calmest of the change-ups, is the 1A Region 8. Appalachian Cedar Bluff played. We played them when my son played. Played Gainesville all for past 100 years, except for the past three or four, they ducked out on that. Raglan's been in the region. We're glad they're still playing football. We'd heard rumors they may be losing their football program because of the kids, numbers, just the area that people, population wise, it went down. And Spring Garden, Valley Head, Woodville, that's a good region. Appalachian looks strong in that region. They're bringing back a lot of guys. Been a really good football team. Cedar Bluff's in the middle of something. Fixing to hire a new head football coach again. Coach Knapp at Galesville has been there forever. Small school. He plays like 20 kids. You know, they play both ways all night. Raglan too, sort of. Spring Garden. They're a little bit bigger. They got a little more kids. They've lost some kids though last year. You know, they're a little smaller of a player numbers last year. Valley Head about the same. Woodville same. I think Woodville's growing some, and they've been pretty good. They got a new coach up there like 2 years ago at Woodville. Done a good job. Won some games people thought he probably shouldn't win. So 1A Region 8, Appalachian, Cedar Bluff, Galesville, Raglan, Spring Garden, Valley Head, Woodville. I like it. I think it's a good competitive region. Yeah, 2A Region 4, Reeltown and BB Commerce and all them, Lynette's, all those teams. We'll go through this. Gaston, Ohatchee, Piedmont, Pleasant Valley, Sachs, Venice, Walter Weber, West End. Good Lord bless her. I keep saying that. Gaston. 06, 07, Piedmont was 2A. So they ain't been down 2A in almost 20 years. Yeah, Pleasant Valley would be good to be in there with Piedmont. Sachs, never been 2A. They were 5A, man. Sachs was a 5A. Walter Welborn, they've been 2A before. Westbrook, they were 2A. Yeah, well, Sachs will be a good team. That's going to be a tough region. Sachs and Piedmont, Pleasant Valley, that'll be three good teams. That'll be three good teams. That'll be and Walter Welborn's they're not going nowhere. Yeah, Ohatchee's, yeah, they're a year away probably, but they're not going nowhere. Top 17 private schools will have several non-region games to schedule. That's tough when you're the only 17 schools that have 5 or 6 non-region games to schedule. Yep, that's true. It's a good point. Very good points. That's micro stuff. That's why you come by here in locker room sports. We just hanging out here in the locker room talking ball, and that's a good point. It's a good point, Steve. That's because the top private schools, there's 17 of them, and I think there's going to be 6 regions. And they laid out those regions. Now there's 6. Okay, let me go back to that. I got a picture of one of the regions. I got for clippity doodah sake. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Crap. Yeah, let me look right here. Okay, let's talk about that. So you got Region 4. This is Region 4, Steve. We're talking about something here. And single A, private, is Coosa, Decatur, Lindsay Lane, Mars Hill, Shoals Christian, Westbrook, and Whitesburg. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 teams. And there's going to be, I think, 6 regions, 5. I think there's 6. I think there's 6 single A, and then there's about 4 or so double A's. So in the double A's too, seems like there's 7 teams, And well, you got to play. You got to play 9. Let's see here. You got to play 9. So. Okay, so region games. You got, well, you have to play all, you just play your 6 region games. But, so you play 6 and you're going to play, you got to play 10 games. So they'll have to fill, yeah. But, hang on, Steve, you made a good point. Talking about Steve talking about the top 17 private schools will have several non-region games to schedule. Well, maybe not, because they could. Well, no, right? Because they're going to play. There's 6 teams, so they're going to play 5. So that means you got to schedule 5 non-region games. But you can play non-region teams in your the top 17 private schools are going to be AA, so you can schedule another 5 teams from the other 16 schools. You're going to have 16 other schools, also with 6 teams in them. So 16 schools with, let's see here, 16. So let's be 17 schools in total times 6 schools apiece. That's 100 schools. There ain't no way. How many private schools even in Alabama? Oh God, there's 370 private schools in Alabama. Okie dokie. Never mind. I'll shut up now. I thought there was like 150. There's 350. So yeah, that'll be fine, Steve. They can schedule from the other 16 teams that you're not in. If you're in the top 17, you're a AA private. You'll just schedule some other region games. Okay. How many are they going to have? I thought I seen 6 on there. Was it 4 and single A had 6? Is there 10 regions altogether, Steve? Is that right? So there's out of 350 private schools, only 47 of them. So there's 300 schools that don't play football at private schools in Alabama. Yes, they can play any teams they want to, right, Gary? They can. But here's the question. We brought this up a while ago. And they will play, teams close to them, like Southside would play, may want to, I don't know, may want to play Westbrook. I'm just making an example. Or Glencoe may want to go up and play Coosa, because they need to fill a spot. Coosa may, want to try to get to play Glencoe or something, or, whatever. But here's the thing, though, guys. Mr. Rice, you know this. You've been around it your whole life. When it comes to tiebreakers and stuff, how do they count the schools? Because used to, it was, you could count, like if a 3A played a 5, you could count that if it was up 2 levels. But what if Westbrook and Southside play, and Westbrook being a single A private, and Westbrook being single A private, and Southside being a 5A, and it's time for tiebreaker, and Westbrook's tied in second place, and they're, need that other point. Are they going to get a point for, because you have to start counting out of region games. Once you count region games, then you go for tiebreaker for out of region. How's that going to work? Yeah, because you're going to have to play 10 games. So how's that going to work? Yeah, Cherokee County, holy smokes, man. Woo. They're going to have to play they're gonna have to drive and drive and drive. They're gonna have to drive over an hour. Like to Hayden and to Brewer High School. It's gonna be that's that's just regular region play. That's just regular old region. Trying to put this over on here. Got messages coming in. Biggest shakeup in high school sports since '84. You all right, Coach? Yep, Tree County at Gunnersville. Have the worst travel schedule. Yes. Oh no, brother. What a oof. Bailey, I'll have to get him on here. Talk to him. Okay, I think I got caught up. Nope. Okay. So what else we got going on here? We're checking messages. We're talking about 4A Region 8. 4A Region 8, Alexandria, Anniston, Central Clay County, Jacksonville, Leeds, Lincoln, Moody, and Sylacauga. Wow. And just get on the Facebook page and get on the Facebook page, and I'll have all this stuff up later. Yeah. Lincoln, Leeds, Jacksonville, good matchup. Central Clay, Alexandria, Anniston, good. Moody, Central Clay County, good matchups, man. It's gonna be some good games. So 4A Region 6 is 4A Region 6 is one of the toughest regions out there. Now 4A Region 8 with Cherokee County, guys. Cherokee County. We went this one, 4A Region 8. They got to drive an hour to Brewer, 45 minutes at least to Crossville, an hour to Fairview, an hour to Good Hope, 2 hours to Gunnersville, hour and 40 to Hayden. It's close to Birmingham, and then Sardis. Cherokee County's got an hour. Let me just see, guys. I'm not. I want to get some exact numbers on Sardis because I know where it's at. I've been by there, so it's up here in Boaz. Cherokee County to Sardis High School is 52 minutes. Their shortest drive is 52 minutes. Cherokee County, I'm sorry. Yes. I found out that yesterday, 2 days ago. He's interviewing for and not even, maybe not the head job, but talking about Philip Rivers. He's a coach at St. Michael's down there. They were 4A runner up South. Jackson beat them out to win the South. And they're going to be that AA private now. And I get, so he may see the writing on the wall, and he's headed out. He could be, he could go up there and be a QB coach or whatever. But I heard he's interviewing for a job. About Philip Rivers, was the head coach at St. Michael's down there in South Alabama. Son was quarterback, Gunner Rivers, and they were runner ups for the South. Jackson won the South and went on to win 4A. So yeah, there's that too. Every one of these teams are now. Now, Good Hope, Gunnersville, and Brewer are not that far apart. Crossville's not that bad. Like from Crossville to Brewer's 40 minutes. Okay. Fairview is up. Fairview and Good Hope are all kind of up this way. But Hayden, it's north of Birmingham. And Sardis is 52 minutes from center. Now, Sardis and Hayden are kind of close. This will be good for Brewer, Crossville, Fairview, Good Hope. Those three are kind of close. Good Hope, Fairview, Crossville, Brewer, sort of. Brewer's a pretty good way, man. You go to Sneed, way up there, and you turn right up there at Lulu's. And you turn back left on 67. It's up there on the left. Nice school. Nice looking school. I've been by there several times. It's a crazy region. This may be I don't know, that 3A with Piedmont and Gaston. Oh, Lord. Well, this is what we're going to get. Some people it's not bothering, like the Cedar Bluff region we saw with Spring Garden, Valley Head. That's affecting them now. Appalachian. All those teams played each other, been in region together. Good region. That region 6 we talked about with Clay Central and Jacksonville, Leeds, whatever. Good region. Moody, seen those teams play. Alexandria, Anniston, good, like it. Cherokee County gets, they marked them as north. They really stretched them more north than they are. Hang on a second. Hang on. Check out your restaurants. Yeah. You're going to have to take off work early. Some people's 5A Region 6 is a dungle door. Why is Douglas at 5A? Why y'all? I know their numbers say that. Guys, come on. Let's just have the Andy Griffin rule. Douglas should never, ever be in a region with Clay Chalkboard, Pinson Valley. Guys, why? Why would you do that? They need to be playing 2 or 3A. They need to be playing Sandrock or they need. Poor Douglas. Poor Douglas. Gadsden City's going to be in there with Hazel Green, Huntsville, James Clements, Martman. Yeah, Whitesburg and Huntsville. Okay, so Coach Smith at Westbrook Christian, now in private school, single A, Region 4. In his region, Westbrook, Coach Steve Smith, welcome to single A, Region 4. Coach, you will play the 2A state runner, previous 2A state champs in Coosa Christian in your region, and also 3A state champs in Mars Hill Bible. So you have the 2A and 3A state champions in Region 4 in single A. Was there not a way to see? That's what I'm talking about. Like, why was Douglas in that region? Why would you? Mars Hill don't have to be in this region. Put them in the region up there with Decatur. Bro, you talking about? I mean, Mars Hill and Coosa Christian, 2A, 3A state champs are going to battle for a region championship. I mean, what a game that's going to be. But Coosa better hope they retain all their players. They got about everybody back because Mars Hill did. So Mars Hill's, I mean, good Lord, man. Region 4 single A private. Man. Oh, boy. And Coach Smith is just going to be, he just loves competition. He's going to be fired up to play them. Just go line up and play the game, and just it's what it is. A lot of surprises. Coming up with money to be able to take charter bus trips. But the kids, it'd be fun for the kids. So is it bad for the kids? For the private, single A. Yeah, they gotta have four non-region games for private schools. You gotta find 4 non-region games. Now they can play outside of their region, but do you want to be off 0 a week? Or do you want to take off right before the playoffs, or want to take off in the middle of the season? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'd have good region meetings to line up these new schedules and all that stuff. Yeah, their numbers, it's not their numbers that, their numbers has always proclaimed them to be, their classification, but they don't have football players. They don't have a big football team. They have numbers in the school, but their team numbers are small. I think Douglas should play 3A football. I'll always say that. I don't care what nobody thinks. It's not fair to them and the coaches. Because Mars Hill, that Region 4 single A, tough. Very tough. Decatur Heritage is good. They're a good team. Coosa, Mars Hill. Yeah. Oh, Jerry Adcock took over at Whitesburg. Good coach, man. Give him another year or two. Mm-hmm. If they're up this way toward Huntsville. Yeah. most coaches, the old school guys like to play week 0, like, jamboree, and then play 10 straight. Yep. So summing up, let's kind of sum up what's going on for today. And still got a lot of people on here and people jumping in and out. Lindsay Lane doesn't have a football program that I'm aware of. They will have to find 5 games. Yeah, they were on there. Yeah, they were on there in that Region 4 with Coosa and Mars Hill and Westbrook. Yeah, good luck to everybody in that region. You get to play 3A state champ Mars Hill and 2A Coosa Christian champ and Westbrook Christian. And Whitesburg just hired their new coach. He's a good coach. Yeah, you give him long up here, he'll have it figured out. Yeah, good luck with that. So, summing up kind of today, what's been going on, gosh, we've had a lot of people on here, man. I really do. I appreciate everybody coming. We had over 100 people during the hot minute that we were all on there together, over 100 at a time live. So, basically, there's we're going to call it Mr. Howard said re-championship alignment. There's a single A and a double A private schools now. They are still under AHSAA guidelines and regulations. The top 17 private schools will be the double A, and the other 40 or 50 something will be single A. We've went through some of those. You can find those later on the Facebook page. Also, the state championship game will be in South Alabama, Mobile. There's no longer 7A. There's just 1 through 6. So, therefore, the numbers bumped a little bit. So, if you needed, 300 kids 9 through 12, and now it's 350 to be 3A. Well, you bumped down to 2A then. Don't necessarily mean you lost any students. It just means the classification changed around a little bit. And that's where we're at right now. And this will run for 2 years. So they are different. They're separate. And the private, single, and double A will have their own director of championship games and how they'll play each other in the playoffs. They'll have, I think, 5 different 4 single A regions and I think 5 double A regions. And they'll have to find 5 other non-region games, which will be with other private schools. And they can still play mixed match. You can play public and private can still play in the season, just like they do in Georgia. But the question is, which will be answered, I'm sure, sometime today or tomorrow, I'm going to find out how a tiebreaker would work when a public and private play. How's that tiebreaker points going to work? Just, how do you determine the size, So we'll have to see how that's going to work out. And the thing that I'm always concerned about is, number one, what's best for the kids and for the schools and the education system as a whole. And remember that we're here to provide a education for these young men and women. And sports is just part of something that they do. And it's something great. And I love it, coached it, been a part of it, son played it, helped all I could to do my part in my county, community. And it's an opportunity for a lot of young men and women to go on and have scholarships from girls volleyball and basketball and softball to boys playing baseball, football, and basketball. It's a great opportunity for them to be able to pay for their books and great opportunity for them to travel and see different things and go on visits. And it's great. But we have to remember, one, it's supposed to be about education and about the kids. Now, with all that being said, we'll wrap it up here with this. And again, thank all you people for coming by and hanging out. It's going to be a lot going on today. Keep an eye on our Facebook page, Locker Room Sports Talk. And I'll have some postings of schedules of regions and seeing how that's going to work out. Coaches are running nuts right now because some of these regions are very, very different. If you're around the Cherokee County area, you're listening, tuning in. Their shortest drive will probably be to Crossville or Sardis, which is about 50 minutes. Everything else is going to be hour to 2 hour drives. Now, again, I'm not going to get on my soapbox like I did earlier, but with the title game, being at the Super 6 in Mobile, and on Wednesday now, instead of having a 7A championship, you have a single A probably at 11, and then probably a double A probably at 2 or 3. 4-day event, flag football probably still be on Tuesday. Be great weather, be nice down there for December of this year, 26, to finish out the high school football season. However, these northern teams that are from some smaller schools and really rural areas, they're just going to fill that bus up and get those kids down there. I just seen a guy come by a while ago here and was talking about $20,000 to pay for, charter buses for to go to a game. And you can't just drive down that day, because if 1A plays Thursday at, let's just say 1A plays, Thursday at 11. So they're going to leave at 3 a.m, drive straight down and play the game. No, they can't do that. They're going to have to stay in a hotel. So who's paying for that? I don't like the championship game being in the South. I'm sure there's people in the South wouldn't like it being in Huntsville. So I would say the smartest thing to do for our directors, leave it at Birmingham. Stop moving it around. Just leave it in Birmingham, because it's too much to ask these, because they're small, not very wealthy schools in the South. That there's more wealthy schools, I think, in the South than the North. I'm going to assume that. I may be wrong, but to make that drive from the North to Mobile for championship game, I don't like that. But we have a whole new system here, guys. New regions. Just stay tuned on the page, and I'll have up different regions and who's playing who. Some of them, the Cedar Bluffs, Valley Head, Gainesville, Spring Garden, the teams, the guys that watch the most. It's not going to be a big change for none of y'all. You're going to be in the region with Appalachian and Gainesville, Cedar Bluff, Valley Head, all those teams. Now, Sandrock's going to be in there with section. Fife and Collinsville's dropping out of 3, coming down to 2A. Not nothing new. Brindley Mountain dropping out of that 3 where they don't need to be. They need to be in 2A or 1A. And they'll be in there with section and Sandrock. Now, Piedmont's going to have Pleasant Valley and those teams. Gaston's going to be in that region with Piedmont and Pleasant Valley. And Sachs, that's going to be a great region. And that Cherokee County region with Hayden and Brewer and Good Hope, that's going to be a heck of a drive. Hayden, that's over an hour towards Birmingham. Yeah, I had a conversation with somebody about that, Ken. Why with private schools? Well, because that's who controls your money right now. Now, they could come out, I guess, at some time. The decision does not consider kids. I hope all the private schools. Well, they can't, because the money is allocated through the state, and they still have a say because they still pay some of the bills. So that's kind of how that's going to work. I don't know what you mean by it don't consider the kids. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be about. That's my number one thing. It's supposed to be about what's best for the kids and for them to play. I don't know why it wouldn't. And you have an opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong. You may have a kid in private school. You can tell me why you think it's not a good idea. I'd love to hear your opinion. I don't see why it's as bad, because Coach Smith was just saying how it's exciting for them to go play some new schools, take his team to some places they've never been. And it will be interesting. They'll have their own championship series. They'll have their own trophy. They'll have their own day, Wednesday, probably that morning. They'll have their own single A championship day. I think it gives the private schools, some smaller ones. Not everybody is, everybody's not Mobile Christian that has, more money or whatever. I think it gives some of the smaller private schools an opportunity to play for it. Now, in that region that Westbrook is in, unfortunately, they're in Region 4, single A. Holy crap. there and there with Mars Hill, 3A state champs and 2A state champ Chris Christian. Good Lord. I mean, that's tough. The Region 5 stays the same, only for something different. Solid moving in that region. Okay. Well, maybe that's no, they're not going to do that. They're not going to split it, Ben. It's all going to be under AHSAA umbrella, same camera. They won't never do that. That'll never happen. That's all going to be in South Alabama. It's AHSAA Super 6 will be December whatever, and it'll be in South Alabama at the campus there. And the weather will be good. It'll be better. I mean, the weather being better, if you like, now it can be cold down there, but I think it'll probably be a little warmer being down there in Mobile than it will be here in Birmingham over there in December. I could just pretty much assume that. But for the North teams up here, guys, good luck getting down there. If you're a small school, I don't know. I guess you go take a loan out of the bank and to try to put up 50 kids, at a small school, 30 kids in a hotel, and pay for $10,000 in buses, or pay $2,000 in fuel to get down there and back. Florence is the largest 5A school. Okay. All right, let's wrap it up there. Appreciate everybody coming by. Holy crap, heck, what a day, man. A lot going on. Keep your eyes on the page. God bless you, everybody. Y'all come back Sunday night, and we will talk some more about this. So we'll check you later. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you can't be good, just be good at it, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.